the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
What's going on? Quit playing. This is a proper fade, by the way. Al Borland taking care of it. This is the part where we make sure people can hear us.
Oh, that would
The part of the live stream that we make sure that you can hear us, you can see us. Al Borland, Judge Giamatti, pulling the levers. We've got thumbs up. People can hear us. Welcome in to the UDK for Life live stream.
the first.
The last.
The only one for this year, but we've been very excited to do this. We're going to answer questions over the next hour or so, but this marks the end of a very special week. We're going to give away an ultimate draft kit for life. What an idea this was.
Are you hoping you win, Jason?
Yeah, man. I'm sick of you guys making me pay for this thing.
We're also going to give away this signed Alvin Kamara jersey live on the air, and you can see up here, right there.
Oh, man. We've got a live countdown timer going?
Yeah, and that's when the drawing is going to happen. So we've got just over 43 minutes remaining.
Professional.
And you the way that you are eligible to win, everybody that's got the UDK, are we okay on audio?
Yep.
Should we pause? You can talk to us. This is just...
It's a live stream. Who
Yeah,
cares?
We're good. We're all thumbs up over here.
All right.
Can people hear us?
Yes.
We'll
Jason,
find
Jason,
out.
you are here. You don't know.
I thought I saw a thumbs up,
Oh,
which
okay,
means...
okay.
which means
43 minutes until
Yeah.
we do the drawing. You have to have the 2020 Ultimate Draft Kit to be eligible. Anybody that's got it since February all the way to now. Mike, you were saying something?
People are saying the audio is quiet. The perhaps the feed that's going into the web presenter can be bumped up.
We
can
just
hear
made
you.
some adjustments. We should be good.
Okay. Can they hear you too, Al?
They can.
Okay, that's a shame.
I apologize to the Foot Clan that you had to listen to Al's voice. It's disturbing.
It's just a serious engineering voice over there. Is Judge Giamatti on a microphone?
No.
Yes? No, he's not.
No, don't worry about him.
And if we put him on microphone, then
Don't leave him.
he's stressed out. His
He's
headphones
freaking
just
out.
fell
He's
off.
trying to make sure that the stream is good. We'll leave Judge Giamatti to his own devices.
Okay, well, we're going to answer questions, but one more reminder. Get your Ultimate Draft Kit at ultimatedraftkit.com and do it before that timer hits 0 because we're going to pick the UDK for Life winner at that point, and that'll be fun. All right, you want to jump into a question here? I think
do.
one of these guys. All right, can Kenyon Drake carry on Drake? Ooh, is that your perfect player?
Man, I would fall in love.
Can Kenyon Drake finish top 3? We can all answer this one.
Yeah, to me, he definitely can. I mean, when he came in after the trade and from that point to the rest of the season, he was the running back 3. If you look at the entirety of the season, taking whoever the Arizona Cardinals running back 1 was that week, assuming he plays 16 games, if he was the running back 1, that was also the running back 3 last year. If the offense gets better, goes at a faster pace of play, I think there are plenty of ways he can be a running back 3. I love him. He's my guy. But, of course, I'm not projecting him to be a top 3 back. I'm not thinking he's going to be better than 4 or 5
Well,
top
Chad's
fantasy running
not
backs.
saying, are you projecting? He's just asking the question.
Yeah, all right. So what do you two say?
No, I don't think he can.
Okay.
You really brought us down a notch.
Sorry, Kenyon. I
So you don't
he
think it's in the realm
No,
of possibility?
I do not. No, I don't think his utilization will be at a level that will sustain that.
I say yes.
Well, as
And-
a Cardinal fan, I say let's do it.
Is this because of Chase Edmonds?
Yeah, and just the duration of a season. It's just it's a long season, so I don't think they're going to give him the kind of work that McCaffrey, Barkley, Mixon, Cook, Jacobs will receive.
The nice thing to follow up there is just because of the pace of play, they're not doing a bunch of substitutions as often. They're trying to snap the ball as soon as they can. and that's why I believe last year you saw the utilization where David Johnson was in the 20s to maybe 30% of snaps played when they were both healthy.
It's just going to come down to how many drives Chase Edmonds gets.
Right.
Your point about pace of play is going to mean that Chase Edmonds is not coming in for a play. He's going to come in for a drive.
Right.
He's going to come in to stay on the field. How often that happens, we'll find out. All right, let's wait. Hold on. You got to do your thing.
Oh yeah, Al. Next question.
That brings it back to we've gone on tour before. We've done some of these fantasy football trade show conferences, and we've done some Q&A sessions. And Jason likes to intimidate people with his very boisterous next question.
It is. Oh, it's Chris Farley, Fry Lady. That's what it is.
That is correct.
He's just only Chris Farley. Oh my goodness, Gardner Minshew or Drew Lock in a dynasty league?
Down by the river.
He's gonna go all his characters.
Jimmy wants to know. I vote Drew Lock in that scenario. I think that they have the way that Jacksonville is lined up. I'd love Gardner to have a long career, but he is set up to get Josh Rosen in a bad. If the team goes downhill this year, and they end up with the number 1 pick, and Trevor Lawrence can come be their quarterback, so I'm a little worried about that. It's not going to happen to Denver.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement for the same reasons. The idea, like, I would rather, if it's redraft, I think Gardner has a better year than Drew Lock does, but Drew Lock has a future. I think that he's going to do enough where they're going to believe they should give him more time. And with the weapons he has with Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant, Melvin Gordon, you could end up with a great option this year, but long term he has a bright future. Right now Vegas says Jacksonville has the highest odds to have that number 1 pick.
And Denver has a defense as well. And very often a quarterback will be credited for the win, even though it really wasn't him. But if your team is winning, most teams aren't going to make a quarterback change.
It's just another testament, though, to how many relevant fantasy quarterbacks there are. Like Drew Lock has job security. Look at the depth chart behind Drew Lock. I mean, you guys even know? I mean, there's no one there. He is. It's his job. It's just like Gardner does too right now. But so there's just not a lot of.
Mike Glennon is probably one of their backups.
He's everybody's backup.
Mike Glennon
is
in
universal.
No, he's in Jacksonville. I know that one for sure. Let's see. We got. Oh man, he's got a plan.
Oh, Driscoll.
I know.
Jeff Driscoll.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I did see, before you throw the next question up there, Al, I saw some question pop through that I thought was a funny one. Somebody said, is there somebody that you love but your rankings just don't match? And I think that is true. Like, you can love a player, but then you have to be fair and honest with your evaluation of them. I had kind of the opposite happen. I was looking at our rankings today, and I noticed I'm the highest on Kareem Hunt.
Oh, really?
I have the highest actual ranking of Kareem Hunt because I put in what I thought he'd do. Now, I think that is a perfect example of how that prototypical player versus what the stats bear out.
That's very funny.
Because my mindset is, I just don't think I want Kareem Hunt to be one of my top 2 running backs. Yet, I think I put in very pedestrian stats for him, and he ended up higher than you two.
Yeah, I love Kareem Hunt. For me, the answer to that actual question would be, it would probably be JTT, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He's a guy that I love. I'm all in on, but
From Home Improvement.
Yeah, exactly. But because of
remember those Teen Bop magazines?
The year-long stats and not knowing how much Marlon Mack will be involved, he's just low in my rankings.
But you love him.
But I would definitely draft him ahead of where he's being ranked.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm gonna be shout out a little spoiler for the diehards here. We're doing breakouts on Monday. I was gonna say tomorrow, but apparently it's Saturday.
What?
We're doing breakouts on Monday. I'm going to be talking about Jonathan Taylor, and one of the things what I'm going to mention is, just if you look at the expert consensus ranking of where he is, he's not finishing there.
Right.
He's either way above it or he's way below it. He's not just going to be there. And
I don't think he can just be blah.
I don't blah, blah, blah.
I think he could be a little blah.
But I've made the decision, I'm picking my side, and the side I'm going with, I'm going all in.
You don't think he could go the way of like Devin Singletary's rookie year in terms of like fantasy finish?
I do not.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be. Don't tell me anymore.
I know.
I want to hear on Monday.
I'll convince somebody.
Before we
Probably just Jason because he wants to be convinced.
I sure do.
You're talking about your guy, Jonathan Taylor?
Oh,
Yeah.
stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, very
Like
cool.
my breakout.
Oh, this is not fair.
Foot Clan. My breakout for Monday. I'm not going to tell you.
All right.
Before we jump into another question, I do want to take a second. We've got 35 minutes left until this drawing happens, the UDK for life and the Alvin Kamara jersey. I want to encourage you to go check out the Ultimate Draft Kit at ultimatedraftkit.com. All of our rankings, projections, all of the analysis, which means sleepers, breakouts, busts, values, and
Tiers.
full write-ups, tiered rankings. We've got consistency charts in there where we're looking at players' consistency year over year, but also game by game in 2019. If you want to see players like, even the player profiles through the UDK, Tyler Lockett, Jason brought up the point the other day. When you glance at his consistency chart, he's transformed himself from those early days of being a really boom, low consistency player to one of the more consistent fantasy wideouts. You can kind of visually see that in the Ultimate Draft Kit, and there are just a lot of great tools to equip you for your league. So,
And also
33 minutes left.
Look, if you're on the YouTube, just click that subscribe button. We're trying to get
my gosh,
trying to
I
get to
forgot about
200K,
that.
man.
Yeah, you're there. You're already here.
Hey, man.
Click that subscribe. Trying to get the eyebrows
That's right,
going. All right, next question.
Very simple one. No-Go wants to know, is Todd Gurley worth
Ooh.
drafting?
No-Go wants to know.
Is it a no-go?
Is it a go-go? For me, Todd Gurley is a no-go. I am not drafting Todd Gurley
I knew where you were going to.
It's always hyperbolic to say I'm completely out on this player, but the truth is, if somehow my entire league decides they love Mike the Fantasy Hitman's rankings and they're choosing that they're out on Todd Gurley and he's there in the 7th round, I'm going to draft Todd Gurley. But where he is going, I'm not taking him.
I want
Let's
to put
go.
it to the test because right now he's being drafted in the 3rd round.
Oh, sorry.
So I know that made you feel a little bit sick to your stomach.
Yes.
Are you taking a player like David Johnson ahead of Todd Gurley?
Yes.
Well, Lev Bell, I assume yes.
Yes.
What about somebody that you've traditionally been a big fan of, but you see a path to disappointment? James Conner.
I'm taking James Conner.
Over Todd Gurley.
Yeah, easy.
What about a player that has a lot of – he's flashed but doesn't have the role to himself, Devin Singletary in Buffalo?
Oh, that's
a great question.
Yeah, that's a really tough one. I like Devin Singletary. I mean, the Zach Moss drumbeat is getting louder up in Buffalo, and the high leverage, high point touches may go to Zach Moss. And they're highlighting his pass catching ability, which we knew he had it, but now the team is talking it up. So I think I would go Gurley there, but I bet they're really close in my projections.
To answer No-Go's question.
They are very close in your projections. That's what I was using.
I
was using that to give you.
Yeah, he's just a couple spots ahead of Todd Gurley.
So I am the most pro Todd Gurley here as far as his outlook on the season, the fact that he will be utilized in what is going to be a good offense so long as Matt Ryan stays healthy, and I believe they'll throw the ball to him the same way that they have used Devonta Freeman. And so I think, is he worth drafting? Sure. I will not be drafting Todd Gurley because, and I brought this up on the Top 10 Tips and Tricks episode, the wide receivers that are on the board, it's not a matter of those running backs, this running back or that running back. You say Todd Gurley or David Johnson or Devin Singletary. When I'm in that range, I'm looking at these Cooper Kupps and Robert Woods and Tyler Lockett's and all those wide receivers that I'm definitely taking over the likes of Todd Gurley. Next question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We can't move on without it. Can Leonard Fournette reach RB1 status? Unfortunately, yes.
That is the correct answer. The correct answer is unfortunately, it is possible.
Let's analyze that answer for a
Yeah,
minute.
that's weird.
I want to, you psychoanalyze me. Why
Okay.
do I not want Leonard Fournette to succeed?
Oh, I can tell you. Oh, why you don't want him to succeed?
Yeah, why don't I want him to succeed?
That I cannot tell
It's
you.
probably because that guy's on Champ's roster. He doesn't want Champ.
Maybe there is that subconscious element there. Is it because the writing has been on the wall for the team to move on from him for 2 years, so you just...
I feel like you have just it's possible you have inhabited just the feelings that Jacksonville is projecting, that the feelings that they have about Leonard Fournette is that they don't want him. They don't want him to succeed, which is weird because he's on the team, but you have everything from what...
Well, I'm just... Can he reach RB1 status?
Oh.
He was RB9 last year.
Yeah, yes.
Mission accomplished.
To answer the question, yes. But here's the thing about Leonard Fournette. You have this, you got to follow the breadcrumbs here of, a little bit of off-the-field stuff, whatever. But that off-the-field stuff turned into Jacksonville voiding his guaranteed money. They didn't
pick up his fifth-year option.
They did not pick up his fifth-year option. They were rumored they were trying to trade him. They were trying to trade him for... to continue the analogy, breadcrumbs. And the teams were like, nah, man, I'm good. I got breadcrumbs over here. And so they've just ended up stuck holding the bag of Leonard Fournette. And yet, Leonard Fournette could still be an RB1.
Do you want to know what happened the second half of the year, last year, when a team looked ahead and said, we can get that number 1 pick? Well, no matter how bad they were losing, the Cincinnati Bengals kept giving the ball to Joe Mixon, and he was phenomenal the second half of the year for fantasy. You could end up in a situation here where they just ride his leg. He's not their future. So they could just give him the ball and ride him into the ground and not worry about the usage or utilization or future health of Leonard Fournette. That is possible. I think the issue here is the receiving work. Chris Thompson comes in. You worry that, if he siphons away the receiving work, then that's no good. But at the same time, the touchdowns should go up for Leonard Fournette just based on math.
Last year, Leonard Fournette in 2018 was on the injury report for, I believe, 7 of the 8 total games he played, missed games throughout the season, didn't catch the ball. He is the example of the greatest what if of an offseason last year. What if he never got hurt, even though he's always been hurt? What if he finally caught passes, even though he never catches passes? And somehow both came true.
And you weren't super excited. I know he was a running back 1, but I had him. And it was, we were kind of disappointed. So that's his ceiling, is what he did last year, is how I view it. So we don't expect him to be.
So last year, just to follow
27 minutes left.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, 27 minutes left. Get the ultimate draft kit.
Oh, my goodness.
And anybody, even if you get the ultimate draft kit with 30 seconds left,
you're entered.
You're entered to win the UDK for life, and we're giving it away live on this show along with the Alvin Kamara jersey.
For Chris Thompson, one, it's also that narrative of Jay Gruden is the offensive coordinator now. He brought Chris Thompson his favorite pass-catching running back with. Chris Thompson missed 5 games last year. Missed 5 games, and he still ended up with 58 targets. So let's say, I can't project a full season for Chris Thompson. The dude's always hurt. Yeah, okay, let's say he misses 5 games, and he takes away 60 target opportunities that were supposed to go to Leonard Fournette, or that Fournette would have had. That's a huge downgrade.
It actually is crazy. By the way, I don't know if you knew this, Chris Thompson finished as the RB.
Oh!
I'm looking at Chris Thompson's career. Since 2015, the minimum targets he's received in a season, which is 5 consecutive years that were all injury-plagued, played 13, 16, 10, 10, 11. The minimum targets he received was 48.
Dude gets targets.
62, 54, 55, 58. We, as fantasy players, may be fatigued with the Chris Thompson experience, but I don't know if
Jay Gruden's not.
NFL managers are.
No, Jay Gruden literally changed teams and then went, hey, you
Yeah.
got to come over to my team. I really like you. I was going to give a shout-out to a couple people that are getting in here.
Oh.
Ryan Glum and Nick Caskey, but then I saw a name, and I was like, wait a minute. This is real. I am not making this up. Looks like Aaron Jones You just got yourself an Ultimate Draft Kit. Congratulations. I assume so. I mean, how many Aaron Jones can there possibly be? Oh, no. Hey, no attention to AJ Villain over there ciphering away some touchdowns.
Yeah. All right, let's go to another question here.
Next question.
25 minutes left
Leg.
before the giveaway, which that's the irony. Aaron Jones enters by buying a UDK.
Thank you, Aaron.
AJ Dillon wins the giveaway.
Oh.
All right. Which quarterback has the best value in the late rounds? Matthew Stafford. What do you guys think?
Matthew Stafford.
Really? You think that
I mean,
that...
it probably is. I mean, he was quarterback what before he went down halfway through the season?
Yeah, I mean,
I want to say 1?
I can give you his.
Well, that would be very good. Then how are you arguing that he is the best value?
He was on a 5,000 yard,
I know the
40
pace.
touchdown pace. He had finished 4th, 13th, 27th, 6th, 21st, 2nd, 5th, and 4th.
So it was the first half, right? Weeks 1 through 8?
1 through 9. 1 through 9.
Oh, 1 through 9?
Yeah.
Okay. I can get this data for you quickly.
All right. You pull that up, and other than that, to me, it's Cam Newton. But will Cam Newton hold his value position in fantasy drafts? I think that he's going to.
I'm surprised. Matthew Stafford was the quarterback 6. With
Okay.
that kind of a pace, that seems impossible.
I wanted to know I know I couldn't do it because he's Matthew Stafford, but I really thought about putting him as the breakout for Monday's show as a quarterback.
Sure.
Like a re-breakout. Like he broke out, and then he was captured, and then he broke out again.
When I'm looking at a late round quarterback, great value, Jared Goff comes to mind. Matthew Stafford is certainly in that mix. And really, with the propensity for a top 5 quarterback to be someone that runs the ball over 300 yards, like just looking at the average and the history, you need a baseline, then Cam Newton's name always needs to be brought up.
Yep.
And was.
There you go.
A great man once said.
Okay, 23 minutes and 15 seconds left. I think that is probably the right time to get in on the UDK for life.
It was a
what I
few
was
seconds
thinking.
ago. It
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Well, next question.
Ceiling and floor for A.J. Brown, another player that I was surprised. I'm the highest of the three of us on A.J. Brown.
I don't like that because I want to be highest on A.J. Brown. I have stats that are just what I think is the most probable, which puts him around wide receiver 15. I think his floor is as a wide receiver 2. I can't see him dropping out of the top 24 wide receivers. He's the clear number 1 target for his team. Let's say he doesn't get in the end zone and the offense doesn't do well, but his ceiling,
top 8.
I feel like his ceiling is like top 3.
I don't know if
I don't
in
think
that
he can
offense.
hit there.
He'd have to score so much. I mean, he'd have to be 12 touchdowns somehow this season, on 50, 60 catches.
He's one of these guys that I could see with a line that is more like 80 and with 15 touchdowns, like an old Des Bryant style line.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I wonder what the lowest reception total for a top 5 wide receiver has been in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't have that data right now.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I do not know.
That'd be interesting, huh?
I mean, the floor. I believe you are right, Andy. Where, he granted he was not a full-time player yet, but before the bye week, so that's weeks 1 through 10, he had 3 total touchdowns. Like that is something that could happen to A.J. Brown. That on the season he only puts up 6, he only puts up 7, and that would be devastating for his final fantasy finish. So
you saw the playoff games and him disappearing.
Yeah, and Tannehill. They said, Tannehill, don't do anything. Just give the ball to Derrick Henry, please. So the floor to me is down around, it's out of the top 24, but not out of the top 30. And then ceiling to me would be that 8, right around 8 to 10 range.
Next question.
So sophisticated.
Which Chris Farley character is that?
Ooh, I got to look up Chris Farley references here.
How far would you reach for a my guy?
So one of the reasons that certain my guys are selected is because we like where they're going in the draft, right? If I brought this up on the my guy episode, if Tyler Lockett was being drafted as the wide receiver 12, he would not be a my guy. He might be someone that I take if he drops a few spots. But generally speaking, you're willing to if once you're into rounds 4 or on, we're all willing to reach one round at least to grab the guy. So Tyler Lockett's going in the 5th. I would happily take him in the 4th if that was how the board laid out. Obviously, it's different when you're talking about a Kenyon Drake or Josh Jacobs. You can't go a round early.
Mm-hmm. I would take Josh Jacobs at the 5th overall pick.
Okay.
So
that's fair. Let me look at where I've got Kenyon Drake.
And for my guys, it's the same. You
have him at 5 right now.
I gave you. I was very generous. 2 5th-round options, so that if you're in the 5th and there's a snake in your league and they take DJ Chark in front of you, then you go, oh, okay, well, it's fine. I'll just take Terry McLaurin. But I'd be willing to go 4-5 with those guys.
I'd rather laugh at the rest of the league by getting Cooper Kupp right where he's being drafted right now and getting that top value.
All right, I've got a question for Andy. Next question. This one comes in from Jason Moore. These guys are going really close to each other in the draft. They are both guys that I think Andy likes. I know they're both guys that we like, but you're on the board and you have to choose between Terry McLaurin and Tyler Lockett because they're right next to each other in a draft. Andy, which one do you pick out of those two?
Russell Wilson.
Bad pick.
No, I pick Russell Wilson.
Sure.
I pick Tyler Lockett because of the quarterback that he has and the upside there, and I know Terry McLaurin's a great player. I watched him. I had him in our league of record. He's dynamic. But I've also seen Washington drives go 3 and out, and they don't get the ball again for 8 minutes, and then they go 3 and out, and then they don't get the ball again for 8 minutes, and it is infuriating because you just want your guy to have the opportunity, and he doesn't get it. And so I like Tyler Lockett a little bit more.
Does that ring true as well for DK Metcalf? You taking Metcalf over McLaurin?
No.
Okay.
No, because I look at Terry McLaurin as a bona fide one for his team, and I would take McLaurin.
Mike, do you think that answer is good enough to subscribe right now to the Fantasy Footballers podcast on YouTube?
Honestly, everything that Andy says is YouTube subscribe worthy.
That's right.
It doesn't mean that it's accurate. It's just subscribe worthy.
Right, exactly. It's just
you got to hear what he has to say.
There are a lot of
listen to this dummy.
Different channels on YouTube, and it costs you nothing to subscribe. But this is the only channel where you get this.
We're going to Disneyland. Welcome. Happy to have all you here with us.
Do you know? Oh, I have to stop that, don't I?
Yes, because it will go for 15 minutes.
Do you know how many people have messaged me trying to find the file?
Oh, we will never tell.
I'm not revealing that. You'll unsubscribe if that happens.
How do they not know you wrote that music?
Yeah.
That should, of course. Then I do the drops.
You can tell he wrote it when he goes like this every time we play.
I do the voice drops on our show, and Mike does the music. We all know this.
The flute. That's how you know it was me. You hear that flute line?
Well, sometimes Brooks does some of the drops, remember?
That is true. I'll do a Brooks next question. Next question. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who is your favorite quarterback wide receiver combo? See,
Oh,
favorite is different than the one that I'm most likely to end up with.
All right, so your favorite stack.
That's Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes. That's my favorite stack because it's a blast.
What's your favorite for fantasy purposes that you would go out of the draft with? Because I doubt you're drafting Mahomes.
It's Stafford, Galladay, or Matt Ryan and Julio Jones.
For me, it is Goff and Woods or Goff and Kupp.
Interesting. I'll say my favorite stack
That's a good one.
is Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, where's that music?
That's my favorite stack. I cannot wait until I get to celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
What dance is this? I don't know. We got DeAndre.
Is it the nip tickle? What are you doing over there?
That's the really stiff robot dance right there.
I mean, that's my favorite. But
Thank you, Bill.
But actual, actionable, the fantasy stack.
Do I need to go back to Disney?
No. I'm in heavily on the Stafford, Kenny Galladay, and man. And I've said it before. If I'm going on a budget, I want that draft savings.
Is
Gardner and DJ.
Oh, I like that.
Do you want the Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers stack?
I'm interested.
We never talk about that.
You could talk me
We
into
never
it.
talk about that.
I have a hard time imagining that being a stack I leave a redraft with, because I love Devontae Adams. He is going to be great. He's a top 3 wide receiver. But where he is in the draft, I find myself taking all of the running backs. You know, if Josh Jacobs is falling, or Miles Sanders, or those guys, and
Let's say they're off the board and you're in the second round. Are you taking Adams, or would you then go Travis Kelce, George Kittle?
I would go Travis Kelce. It's just there's so many people that are in his range I like more that I have a hard time ending up with Adams, even though I love Adams.
What would it take to get you to go through a season with your favorite stack of all time? Mitch Trubisky, Allen Robinson.
Oh man, here's what it would take. Load me up with every other. I get to pick all my other players.
Like from just
I get to
all
pick.
at once.
I get to pick. I get all the first players, and I will run the whole.
We're under
season.
15 minutes.
We're under 50. Oh no, that means
This Alvin Kamara jersey and a UDK for life is going to be given away in less than 15 minutes.
I feel like we are hosting a New Year's
I know.
Eve thing
I do
right
too.
now.
I
This
really
is-
do.
Which I think.
Why didn't we get a ball to drop?
Okay,
Owl?
number one, excellent point, and Owl has been removed from the company.
Yes.
Number two, I think we need to send this tape in to like ABC.
We
Do you
should
want-
be
do
Do
doing.
you want that gig?
I have.
Dude,
Maybe not right now.
I've been
look,
there.
you do it from our house.
Okay.
Then we will do it from here.
Virtual, yes. It's so cold out there. All right. Well, next question.
Oh,
we're
okay.
getting
One
one-
moment,
one
please.
moment.
That's fine. We can leave this up
Brooks
on the
just
screen.
gave you the finger.
Well, but then he gave me Justin's
I'll
question.
just play drops.
Oh.
Nothing really matters.
Yeah.
Why
All right.
is Evans so much lower than Godwin? It's funny, Arians just came out yesterday and said, we're just going to use Evans the way we use Evans. We'll use Godwin the way that Godwin's...
Arians is out of control
That's true. He's
With-
like 50% of all coach quotes.
with the way he is talking about his players. I can't remember where I was. Oh, it must have been our company Slack channel of saying, if I was a head coach, I would be hyping up everyone so much. Like my third string tight end, Andy has his hands on his head.
I want to talk about something. I'm sorry. Am I cutting off a really important thought?
No, it was just Bruce Arians related. Please proceed.
Well, I've got two things to talk about news-wise here as the clock ticks down.
Okay.
DeAndre Swift suffered a leg injury today. He's been held out. Bo Scarborough has practiced sparingly through the first 3 days of training camp, and Matt Patricia says the team is now reevaluating Scarborough, which is another way of saying we might let him go or something.
Jason. Look,
Hold on, that's the wrong one.
I can't.
But see, Carry-on's in a brace. So my point is, who's the running back right now in Detroit?
I think we're all just lucky the My Guy episode happened before this news came out.
No. I have recovered.
Fool me once, fool me twice.
I have recovered from all of my procedures. They were dangerous, but I'm not going back in on that. And honestly, if I've learned a lesson, it's to bet against the Detroit backfield. Like, that's, and this news, it just says, I mean, I've already been out on everybody there. Even though I love Swift's talent, I love Kerryon Johnson's talent. That hasn't changed. I have not drafted a Detroit running back this entire season.
And let's just make this more difficult in Minnesota for you. Minneapolis Star-Tribune. First round wide receiver Justin Jefferson has distanced himself from the rest of the Vikings receivers.
Not named Adam Thielen.
He was not carved out. Better than all of them.
Now,
Stop.
here's the thing. He's distanced himself, but in
Like social, good for him. We're
Yeah.
supposed to be socially
physically
distancing.
distanced, that's great.
You hear the coaches talk about him being what he's supposed to be.
Now,
This is Coach
6 feet away is what he
problems here.
But could they be like he's distanced himself from everybody else? He's
is.
not.
What if it's the wrong direction?
Yeah. What if he needs to catch up? You thought about that?
it's not coming through that way.
Okay.
I just think it's very interesting because he is clearly – I mean, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to say outside of Adam Thielen, he's got a good shot.
Yes, he should be on the field. That's why all the reports, conflicting reports, have been bizarre about Justin Jefferson. He's a first-round pick. He should be running with Adam Thielen as the two starting wide receivers. Now, saying he's separating himself from Adam Thielen is a ridiculous thing. Like, Thielen is a top-notch NFL wide receiver, proven year over year. He's not a flash, but I still go with, if I'm drafting a rookie wide receiver, it's not going to be Justin Jefferson. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
10 minutes left.
Ooh,
The thing about running with the ones and stuff like that, it takes these guys a bit of time to learn the playbook and to learn how to be a part of this offense. So those things can transform very, very quickly.
Sure.
Whether it's Jefferson, whether it's Judy, whether it's Raygor. I've never pronounced it that way in my life.
Targaryen.
Yes, Rhaegar Targaryen. But it can happen quick is my point. That's when the rookie – we had what? Was it 2017 when we had the plethora of rookie breakout wide receivers?
2014.
That's a ways.
It's not often, and that's
What
why
year is it?
2014 – that's why 2014 was such an anomalous year where you had, what was that, Mike Evans, Odell Beckham, Kelvin Benjamin, Sammy Watkins.
I believe Jordan Matthews was also that year.
Oh, man, I was in on Jordan Matthews for a short while.
I don't like reports like this because I really like Justin Jefferson, and it seemed like things were getting a little bit more clear. Maybe he's not going to make a splash, and then he comes out and says he's like working everybody off the line. He's dominating in camp.
But he's running with the
Quote,
twos.
we know it doesn't matter.
Well, my point is
Is he dominating the twos?
that's my point.
Look, it's always good to dominate it, too.
How can you really be like moving?
Number 2.
Oh, Adam Gase. All right. We're inside of 10 minutes. Make sure you get your ultimate draft kit before time runs out. And we will be picking on.
We're inside
here
of
live,
9 minutes, Jason.
which is also inside of 10 minutes. So I
Yeah,
was
they're
actually
both
accurate.
true.
We are inside of 1 hour left to get your ultimate draft kit. But if you wait that long, you'll be sad.
Why is Al Borland and Judge Giamatti switch
They
seats?
keep switching.
Why are they switching seats?
Well,
What's
I don't
going
think
on
we have
over there?
audio. We
I,
have,
I was trying to chase down some audio problems.
Did you chase them down?
Did you catch 'em?
Have we been silent this entire time?
No, you're good.
nobody's heard us. Next question.
8 minutes, 23 seconds. The ultimate draft kit for life giveaway. Adam Thielen is a top 10 wide receiver. No,
Ooh.
no thanks. Not top 10. I think he's great, but not top 10.
I have him at 13.
So you hate him.
Which, so I'm saying, that plus minus, yeah, he could. I do believe Adam Thielen could be a top 10 wide receiver this year.
I've got him at 11. And the reality is he's always been great until last year when he was great until he got injured. There's concerns about the passing volume. That's the biggest concern going forward because last year, while he was still a top 10 wide receiver before going down to injury, the volume wasn't there. He was kind of bailed out with touchdowns. But we expect that if an offense passes fewer times, they're more likely to be more efficient on a per pass basis.
More over under 85 receptions for Adam Thielen. Because his 2 big years, I mean, I know you said always, the big 2 years were 91 and 113.
I have him with 80 receptions.
I have him at 75.
So that would be, he'd need to score. He'd need to score for sure. All right, next question. I'm sorry.
Next question.
Best New York Giants wideout this year. I think that
I will take Sterling Shepard.
I'll take Golden Tate.
Haha, you got Darius Slayton. That's how fantasy works.
might be Evan Ingram. I don't know. Might be Saquon.
Oh, look, if you want to talk Evan Ingram, I'm in on that. He is awesome.
Hey, the scary.
Next question.
All right.
Oh,
man.
an audible groan.
Oh, we
Judge
heard it.
Giamatti wasn't ready.
He was not prepared for another question.
Bo wants to know Kenyon Drake or Austin Eckler in a dynasty format.
That
is
a difficult
interesting.
question.
Austin Eckler.
I fully believe Kenyon Drake will receive another contract. It's dicey because right now he's on a 1-year deal, but I'm going to take Drake over Eckler in Dynasty.
I will take Eckler, who is currently residing. He's living with the bag.
He's got the contract.
It's in his place. I'm with Jason. I project that Kenyon Drake will get a contract with the Arizona Cardinals, but we've been in this situation of projecting next year's contracts for running backs many, many times, so I'll take the guy who has it.
I know Kenyon Drake's pretty young, but you do have these careers sometimes, the Lamar Miller types, where it's like you're a – I just don't know how many years Drake has compared to Eckler.
Sure. Makes sense.
5 minutes, 50 seconds. UltimateDraftKit.com.
Next question.
All right, what do we
The
have?
pause was tremendous.
I think we have a question from him before. Can you trust any running back from the New
Mr.
England
Gill.
backfield
No, you cannot. There's a lot of talk about, Damian Harris. Maybe he'll break out. He'll get the opportunity. I mean,
maybe Sony Michel.
Maybe Sony Michel.
Maybe Lamar.
Cam will open things up for the running backs. Maybe Lamar. Maybe
James
honestly,
White?
Rex Burkhead could be the first man up.
Or the last.
I don't want any of them. I don't want to. What is a breakout for any one of them? It's probably not that good.
Yeah,
Damian Harris is the only one that's like kind of spicy and exciting because you haven't seen it. So if he was so much better than everybody else, then maybe he gets a workload. Like, I don't think Sony, Lamar, Burkhead, or White can earn a workload that will sustain fantasy.
I'm still fine,
But Damian could.
I'm still fine taking James White because we know what his role is, and those other guys aren't going to take it. The upside that it used to be of drafting Patriots running backs, the reason you were willing to go in on Bill Belichick and his shenanigans of trying to guess right, because you had monstrous touchdown upside. Now, I do believe Cam will be good for this offense, but is he going to be Tom Brady good where they're putting up that many touchdowns?
We're inside of 5 minutes. I'm getting nervous.
You're getting nervous?
I'm getting nervous.
Sounds like you're constipated.
I'm more than one thing at once sometimes, Andy. I'm a real human.
Let's take a moment. 4 minutes left. If you get the 2020 UDK before the countdown finishes, you're eligible to win the UDK for life, this Alvin Kamara jersey. If you've already ordered the UDK, thank you.
Looks like Anthony Reid got in on time.
Oh,
Devin Wiley got in on time.
Thanks,
Kyle
Devin.
Phillips got in on time.
Now I feel like I'm on a PBS fundraiser.
Oh, yeah. Where's our telephones? Owl!
We should have had those
Where's
ringing.
our telephones?
We're not doing that. This is a very exclusive Alvin Kamara
Yes.
jersey. Here's what I will say. Give me one or two of your favorite UDK features, the things that you utilize maybe as your go-tos right before a draft, during a draft.
One of my favorite things personally is when I set a league up, I've got my iPad and I use it to actually do the drafting and mark players off as I go. I find that very helpful. And to star players and show what players I don't want to forget, because sometimes rankings, a player will be really low, but I'm going to target them as some kind of hopeful breakout player.
Do you ever just pull the UDK up and then you're just searching for all of my guys because you want to succeed in the 2020 season?
I do search for my guys, yeah. Absolutely, 100%, always. It's a great question.
Nicely done.
3 minutes left. Mike, what about you?
I mean, the app, especially on an iPad, is incredible. The tool I like playing with the most, and I honestly get the most function out of, it's our consistency chart. Since we upgraded them to where you can filter by week, it is very informative. You can get good snapshots of how players are doing. You can look at fun thought experiments of like Matt Stafford, who was on fire. Like, what if he had never gone down with the injury? What would have happened?
I think what's funny and what the Foot Clan doesn't know about the way we've built some products out is that, like, independent of the show, we have these tools that you can use, but man, were we selfish. A lot of the times we build out these things and we're like, man, that would be something incredible we could use live during the show. Because people wonder how we put the show together. You know, we build out this very brief skeleton of what we're talking about, but it's not like the show's scripted. I mean, for goodness sakes, you know that's not true. But we do love these tools where you can quickly check a game span on a player and what their pace is. And, like, I'm going to be clear, Mike is maybe more serious about some of these tools in the UDK and in the player profiles than he is about anything else in this life.
Very serious.
You for it.
You're
we
welcome.
Thank you. Also, the amount of time now that I use, if you haven't checked out our player profiles that are
1.5 minutes
that are out there, they're amazing. I love our player profiles. We have a lot more on the way. But when you link that with the UDK, I use that every single day because you can when you're curious about a player, you're about to draft them, click on them, and then you can see like, oh, they were really inconsistent, or okay, that's a good baseline on a game by game basis. I like that.
You know, had we thought about this ahead of time, we could have done some sort of like special countdown. The only number I have available to me is the number 2 for that countdown at this moment.
Can we fit one more question? 60 seconds.
Rapid round.
The fantasy footballers explain
Next question.
the question from someone as they're going to. How are you not ready? We gave you enough time.
I told him we weren't going to do any more questions because the time was this low. So he wasn't ready. I mean, there's only 45 seconds left, Mike.
You better buy the.
You can't invent 45 seconds of content.
I can.
Okay, how are you going to do it?
Oh yeah! Oh!
We got a lot more than
Disneyland.
45 seconds of this, Mike.
Actually,
30 seconds left.
I wanted to circle back to the last question, and I wanted to apologize to James White. I delete him out of my mind every time we talk about the New England backfield because is there any running back worth drafting? Yes, James White. I just forget he's a
You
running
feel that
back.
way this year, too?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's why I
Yes.
delete him out of my
Let
mind,
me,
too.
Let me say this. Yes.
The time
the
is
timer.
up. Oh, drawing in now.
All
That's
right.
good grammar.
All right.
Drawing in now, says Al. He's going to go hide that quickly. He's going to delete that.
So
Here it goes. There
As-
it goes.
as the name is being drawn, look, and
It's been drawn from
what
my
you can't
understanding.
say is a giant room-sized one of those golden spindles,
Mhm.
where like we filled it with ping pong balls.
Oh, my gosh. Look at that.
It's going off right now. Look,
Just behind the cameras.
thank you all so very much. One, for joining the live stream. It's always
This is
good.
a lot of fun.
It's always fun to answer these questions. But I mean, you grabbing the UDK, it helps you and it helps us keep the business going. It helps Brooks keep his job. It helps
Even-
us keep our jobs. It keeps the podcast running. So thank you so much for supporting the podcast.
And we will continue beyond this drawing and answer some more questions. This is not the end of the live
Sure.
stream. We're going to answer some more. The official winner of the UDK for Life.
Wait, you have it?
I have the winner.
Oh,
The UDK for Life and the Alvin Kamara jersey. Go ahead and throw it up there, Al.
Do we have any drums or anything?
It is. No, we don't have a drum.
Jacob!
Shane Jacobs.
Shane Jacob.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Shane.
Wow, a UDK for Life. I wonder how old Shane is.
I
Because
hope.
that determines how much what we owe him. I mean,
Right, that's true. If he's 12, he got a
are we
great
hoping
deal.
he's in his late 80s?
Yes. Shane, here, I hope you've had a wonderfully long life.
I hate to tell you, fellas, but his email address has a 19 at the end of it.
Oh man.
Well, because he was born in the 1900s.
Right.
Shane Jacob will receive a UDK for the remainder of either this show's existence or his natural life, whichever one comes first.
Yeah, forever.
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 You could pass it down to your children.
No, you can't do that. They have to independently win.
All right.
To my son.
You can pass
Congratulations.
the
You should
story
leave-
down
hey,
to your children.
Leave this up for a second for those that are just coming in, just so they can see the giveaway winner. But very exciting. I mean, we've never done this before.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Oh, and you get a Kamara jersey, too. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
And man, that team.
The Saints?
They've got a small window here to win it all.
It's true. Well, not with Taysom Hill.
That's true.
Oh,
You mean who's got him in Dynasty?
oh man. Did
Which-
you just taste some hill flex?
All right,
a
you guys
weird
prime
flex,
up
bro.
another question. I want to jump into some more questions here on the podcast. I wonder if Al can just live swap the frame too. I wonder if he's got that kind of capability. I'm gonna put him on. I'm gonna put him to the test.
Question.
Let's go to another question. Which I mean, Brooks is. You got to scroll up a little, Brooks. No, he's freaking out
Oh,
over there.
it's tough.
Brooks
It's tough
is
in the
sweating all
streets.
over the place.
Yeah, I like it. So this is what Brooks is dealing with. And we have done live streams with this technology by ourselves
Mhm.
at home while we have to be the ones.
We got to be talking,
Talking,
answering questions,
picking the
multitasking,
questions.
looking at the next. But here's the thing.
Brooks has one job.
It's to sweat everywhere.
All right.
and
we've got another
Come on,
question.
Brooks. This is a layup for Andy.
Can Josh Jacobs into the top 5 running back? If he can't, I picked the wrong my guy.
Okay, let me adapt this. Will Josh Jacobs end
Yes.
as a top 5 running back?
Yes, guaranteed. If I don't believe that with every fiber of my being, I have made the softest my guy pick that anybody can make.
All right.
Yeah, you've got him ranked top 5, right?
Yeah.
And who's,
No questions.
No questions. We're getting a no question.
Are you running
signal.
into some technical difficulties back there, Brooks?
We're,
Is that what's going
trying
on?
to switch this overlay.
Oh, okay.
trying
All
to
He's got the UDK in the corner.
Andy, who is the? Remind me again. So who is the one of the the big 6?
We got
that
to
is
take this
out?
responsibility. We're on the player profile overlay now for the UDK.
Why did you ask him to change it?
I thought it'd be a click for Al Borland. It is not.
Andy, your running backs, your top 5 running backs, who of the consensus big 6 is
Sure.
out?
Alvin Kamara, if he's in that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I
he's-
mean.
He's one of those that.
And so then you have Edwards-Helaire
Out.
the rookie, at
Yeah.
6.
I have Edwards-Helaire at 7. You're forgetting about Derrick Henry.
Oh, I was not forgetting about
okay.
Derrick Henry. He's just it's not in my top 6. So
That's fine.
when I say consensus, I mean my top 6.
Right. Consensus to me. All right, we do
Yeah.
have another question here from Manny. DJ Moore, worth a second-round pick, question mark?
Oof, that is.
That's pretty pricey.
No,
I mean, he is. I have him ranked so that he can be worth it. So I have him at wide receiver 7. The thing about DJ Moore is you don't have to draft him in the second round. At least.
Look at that nice overlay. Do you see that nice overlay?
Oh, that is incredible!
Wow. Wow. This is where we should remind you.
That's why we
Hey.
brought the show to a screeching halt.
Shout out to our 2 incredible producers.
They are amazing.
Apparently, we need to hire 2 more
Oh my God!
so we can have 4 people working on the overlay swaps.
Mike is taking no guff
Do
right
what you
now.
gotta do, man.
No guff.
That's right.
No guff from Mike.
Not in my
2020.
house.
No guff.
Wow.
Yeah, 2020 is taking no guff
When
from anybody.
When I look at the second-round draft picks, I'm seeing so many running backs I like. The Travis Kelce pick. I have a hard time taking DJ Moore there. And like you said, Mike, you don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Moore's not usually going that high. Even if he can. I mean, that's the thing is you don't want to just because you think someone, even if you believe they will finish at a certain spot, that doesn't mean that's where you should take them because you can get value on someone else and then grab them at value.
We've got word from our giveaway winner, Shane, that he is 25 years old. He's been in the chat. He's been in the chat.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what the life expectancy of somebody that's 25 right now is.
Longer
But
than
you
us.
cannot take the cash value of this prize.
This win probably elongates his life. You know what I mean? Like when you're.
No, I don't.
I'm saying that this will up
the
his
happiness
happiness level
Built
and
his
extend.
immune system.
I
is
just
up.
assumed you said he's 25 years old. This has to be the happiest moment of his life so far.
Of course it is. So that
Yeah,
means
wait, it's not?
I'm going to expect 75 years of free UDKs, which means we will live a long
Look,
time.
once we're all plugged into the computer.
I knew that was coming. I did. That'll be a real.
Next question.
My goodness.
Look,
Will you ever take Kelsey and Kittle second and third round?
No.
All
no,
right,
no, no,
Max.
no.
So I get it. I understand the strategy of, I mean, they're both great. They will, if they both have the seasons you're expecting, if you look at them, how would they finish as like a wide receiver?
I was about to look that up.
They'll be top 10. They'll finish it with top 10 type wide receiver points. You're blocking your teammates from having one of these players having an advantage, but now you're stuck because generally, you have one flex. You don't have a flex. You have 2 tight end spots, and you cannot maneuver around that. You are never ever benching one of these players, and you might have a third wide receiver or a third running back pop up, and this player is absolute fire. But I can't start them now because I'll be benching George Kittle.
You'll be going into the 4th round still needing either your first running back or your first wide receiver plus your second
Running
of
back,
whichever one
yeah.
you took. It
You
just
can't do it.
It harms your team more than it helps your team, all to keep one other team away from having them. Because that's the idea is no other team will have tight ends like mine, but the reality is most of the other teams aren't going to have tight ends like yours if you take one of them.
And just for, I'm looking at our league of record, so your scoring system might be different. But, George Kittle is down where Julian Edelman was as last year, which is outside the top 12. When you draft a player in the second or third round at wide receiver, you want upside of top 5 potential. The Kenny Galladay's. Yeah, it might not happen, but you want the potential for a player to be up there. And if the peak tight end season ends up the wide receiver 14, 15, you're also hurting your upside.
Next question.
I don't feel like these next questions are social distancing safe.
Oh, the air goes in, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but then
I guess not for you. It's not safe for you.
You're viral loading all over the place.
Oh no, this is bad for me.
Yeah, you're bringing in. I think you brought in all the air from back there.
Yeah, I did.
Are you guys, are the producers doing okay? Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there
okay,
he
it's
is.
changed.
All
It's
right.
Things are
The
good.
heart rate monitor is saying things are
We're
all
gonna
right.
go. Let's say, how many more questions you guys want to do?
3.
3 more questions. What a perfect amount. Alex, late rounds, Chase Edmonds or Justin Jackson? Thanks, ballers.
Interesting.
Can I pick like in September 9th?
If that's when your draft is, I would go Justin Jackson because I think that starting week 1, he has a chance to be a fantasy relevant player week in and week out. If he ends up, last year you had Austin Eckler, Melvin Gordon, who were both fantasy relevant week in and week out. And I'm not saying Justin Jackson's going to go in and be Melvin Gordon, but there is a chance that he is a relevant weekly play. I don't think that there is a chance Chase Edmonds is a relevant weekly play, personally, unless there's an injury to Kenyon Drake. So I would go Justin Jackson.
That is the right answer for right now.
It's
but,
Chase
but
Edmonds
if it's,
for me.
I think that Camp's going to tell me something about Joshua Kelly.
That's exactly why it's Chase
and
Edmonds for me. There is
That's
not
why I want more time to decide.
There is not a player behind Chase Edmonds who is pushing him for the number 2 job. And look, longer shot because Joshua Kelly's a 4th-round pick, but Justin Jackson was a 7th-round pick himself. So I'll take Edmonds.
All right, I would take Justin Jackson if I'm drafting right now for the shot of what Jason said. Bryce Davis, David Johnson, Chris Carson, Lev Bell, Carson Bell, DJ. What?
Oh,
yeah.
I was waiting for you to be Lev Bell for you. So where's Chris Carson in your rankings right now?
Chris Carson's pretty high.
Because I thought you had moved Lev up to like number 10. Calling him out on his rankings.
Yeah, but the Carson has been a pause button. So I guess I'm assuming we're at the front of the season and he's the starter and there's no injuries and no issues. So
you got a draft right now, man. He's
sure,
on the clock.
I'll take Lev Bell
Bryce
right
is
now.
on
That's
the
fine.
clock.
That's fine. I will not take David Johnson over those 2 guys right now.
Is Chris Carson, Lev Bell, David Johnson for me?
Yeah, and it's probably Carson, David Johnson, Lev Bell, but it's none of those.
You have David in front of Lev.
It's I don't believe in Lev or Adam Gase that much, to be honest.
Number 2.
You don't have to believe. You saw it.
What do you mean I saw it? Oh, you're saying, but they brought in Frank Gore, which should mean nothing. Like, that should be just an irrelevant backup.
It pretty much
pickup.
means nothing.
Absolutely, until it doesn't, and I'm going to say that I don't trust the head coach. But my point is, David Johnson, Chris Carson, Lev Bell. Chris Carson's going first in ADP, right around A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Adam Thielen. I'm not taking any of those guys.
I hope you can modify your words here for this final.
Next question, please.
Oh, gosh. Final question, Jason. It's
Very
fine.
dainty.
It's the final
I
question.
was just trying to,
Last question.
social distance there.
Emmanuel, most overvalued player in this year's draft. Look no further than Mike and Jason's My Guys. No, I'm just kidding. Most overvalued player. Do you have a current average draft position in front of you? Any of you?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so let me.
Juju Smith-Schuster. Final answer.
Oh, no, come on.
He's the most overvalued to me. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. He could end up being the most overvalued. Even though I
got one for Mike too.
Probably.
Yeah.
That would be Amari Cooper for the uninitiated.
I love the talent. I really, really do. I appreciate his support as well, but it's still probably going to be Aaron Jones for me.
Okay. I think it's
Enjoy
in the back
your
of all.
UDK,
It's in the back of all of our minds.
but
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah,
Couple-
I have Aaron Jones in my top 10 still, and I'm like,
It's in the back of your mind, huh?
Look, the quads that large don't leave the back of your mind ever.
I don't know if that bothers me as much as just those massive touchdown totals that are just inevitably.
See, the thing
But then
about
if Devontae Adams is hurt or banged up, and the way they
thing
won
about
last year,
that is, if you look at where he finished and you take away 8 of his touchdowns, he's still a top
But he
10
wasn't-
running back.
yeah, but I don't care. If you take away that many touchdowns and you combine it with how inconsistent he was on a week-to-week basis, he's not my RB1. I don't want that. I don't want him disappearing for weeks and weeks at a time.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, couple things. Number one, thank you for joining us. Appreciate all of you, whether it's wherever you're listening. Very thankful. If you are on YouTube, we are on a path to 200,000 subscribers.
We got to check in on that.
And from what I understand, I've done a lot of research on this. This took me almost 3 hours to figure out. If I say smash that subscribe button, it is supposed to motivate you in a different way based on my YouTube research.
Okay, that's
You sound so youthful.
So smash. Can you do it in your next question, boys?
Smash
Thank
that
you.
YouTube subscribe button.
And the bell, I think.
Oh, and ring that bell. You ring my bell.
Oh, very.
They'll make me hit the Disley drop to keep you quiet.
Hey, you can always hit that.
So we appreciate you subscribing, following the show 5 days a week. Thank you very much. And congratulations to our good 25-year-old friend Shane and his UDK for life. We'll get this Alvin Kamara jersey to you in the mail. And by we, of course, I mean not me. Al will mail it to you after that performance.
Have a good one, Foot Clan.
Goodbye, everybody. Take care.